Mike Achimugu, Director of Public Affairs and Consumer Protection at the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, NCAA, says preventing an aircraft from taking off is in many countries considered an act of terrorism. Speaking to newsmen on Sunday about the alleged unruly conduct of Fuji musician Wasiu Ayinde, also known as KWAM, Achimugu said passengers must respect and obey airport officials at all times. What he did in most climes is considered terrorism. You cannot stop an aircraft from taking off. There is nothing that excuses it, he said. The NCAA spokesperson said a multi-agency probe involving FAN, AVSEC, and NAMA would determine how the musician accessed the restricted area and whether air traffic control cleared the pilot under unsafe conditions. On August 7th, the NCAA petitioned the Attorney General of the Federation and the Inspector General of Police to investigate the incident during ValueJet Flight VK201, citing violations of civil aviation regulations. K1 has been placed on a no-flight list pending the outcome of the investigation. Just recently, a chaotic scene broke again earlier this morning at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport on Sunday when a female passenger arriving on an E-bomb air flight from Uyo allegedly assaulted a flight attendant and clashed with airport security. Videos posted on X by user Oho Gumbi showed the passenger in a white top and black trousers yelling at officials and appearing to strike a female hostess with dirty slaps. Eyewitnesses claim she slapped the crew member before airport police intervened to restore order. Michael Achimugu, Director of Public Affairs and Consumer Protection at the Aviation Authority, said the confrontation stemmed from the passengers' refusal to obey crew instructions. When cabin crew asks you to turn off your phone before takeoff or landing, simply comply. I can't understand why simple routine issues would lead to incidents like this, Achimugu wrote on X, urging travelers to respect flight safety protocols. It's been, aviation has been in the news for a while. It's been, I don't know if you're privy to actually see the video of the second report. She had to be held down by at least 5 to 6 officials. What are your thoughts on this report?
I think this confirms what I think is the Bible that says is that if the sentencing for a crime is delayed, men's hearts will be tilted to doing evil. I slapped you. Nothing was done. I didn't get a caution. Another person will be motivated to do the same thing, either to you or to somebody else. And me that I've slapped you and didn't get a caution, trust me, I probably would try it with somebody else. But if as that when I slapped you, I was disciplined, other people will know that this act attracts a consequences and they won't want to do it. First, it started with the senator, former party chairman, disrupting activities at the airport. Nothing happened. We didn't hear anything about it. He boasted, and gave his own side of story. That was that. Now, just last week, we had the Superman. He's an artist, a musical artist. Maybe he thought that was another drama. Or, playing Osho the bus stop at the airport, standing in front of the aircraft, Maybe he was trying to do, if you no pay me, you no go move, kind of Osho the scenario. And that incident happened. The captain had her license temporarily withdrawn.
Yes.
But the guy at the center of the incident was allowed to walk out of that airport. Ideally, he should have been arrested there and then. From that airport, he would have been taken to court, charged to court. His bail would have been granted or denied by the court. Not him walking out from the court, then from the comfort of his house, offered one lame apology, even though I hear a particular government official, of course, characteristically applauding the apology. That's not something we want to applaud. See, I can't drive a knife through you and come back and offer an apology, and everybody gives me a round of applause. Oh, he's a good guy. He has offered an apology. Like he said, that's an act of terrorism.
All right.
An act of terrorism shouldn't be treated with kid gloves. It's not, the debate shouldn't be what we're debating. And by now, he should have been charged to court. He shouldn't have walked away from that airport. Where are the security people? The video even see some of those officials trying to beg him. As at that point, the security persons would have arrested him. Because, I mean, these are people, you are not flying for the...
Do you think they're not aware of their job? That is why they let him walk out of the airport?
Oh,
or it is because of the person he is?
It's because of, do you know who I am, kind of... This, you could see he was making call there. You know, he's a friend to the president, he's a friend to this, he's a friend to that. He knows the owner of the proprietor of the airline. So, rules are supposed to be rules.
Right.
No matter how much I know you, rules governing your organization should be obeyed.
Especially when these rules wasn't even necessarily set by the owner of the aircraft.
Especially when these rules are also safety inclined.
Right.
The aviation industry is an industry that, you know, thinks a whole lot around safety, because any incident can be very fatal.
Right.
And then, of course, because nothing was done, we saw the one that happened today, yesterday.
Yeah, Sunday.
And the woman was practically foaming. So, if they had let that guy off now, how would they justify prosecuting this woman? And if they don't prosecute this woman, we have continuously set a dangerous precedent that other people can attempt and get away with it. All you need to do is put on a call of who you know in high places.
Or tender an apology for a government official.
After you have misbehaved, you can now tender a weak apology that is indeed no apology, that, you know, an apology that makes some people still clap for you. But beyond the videos you are watching is, how does this paint our aviation industries globally? I mean, these are not people who fly for the first time. We know that for some time now,
right,
after the 9/11, there's been a lot of jiggling of safety. People are not allowed to carry certain quantity of liquid into the aircraft.
Right.
People, you can't say it is water, because when you get to the aircraft, you'll be giving water. But let's even forget the issue that happened to start in front of an aircraft. I mean, it shouldn't. That was too much of a luxury granted.
Given of how traveled KWAM, you know, is, do you think that he would have been able to replicate this behavior anywhere else in the world?
Absolutely, absolutely not. The only reason he did it was because he's in Nigeria and he's guaranteed that you can do anything and get away. This is where, do you know who I am, thrive. If he was in Ghana, he probably wouldn't have done that. Not to say anything about he being at Heathrow Airport or I think it's Jeff Kennedy, you know, he wouldn't have done it. But because he's in Nigeria, he thinks he can put a call. That's like, if he had done it, in fact, he wouldn't have even thought of it. In the first place, if he was elsewhere, he wouldn't have gotten to the tarmac.
Right.
With that content there, he wouldn't have gotten to the tarmac. Everything would have been settled before he approached the tarmac.
Isn't there someone supposed to have stopped this man before he walked to the plane? Several checks before you board the plane. It
is because we live in a society where some animals are more equal than the other animals, using George Orwell's book Animal Farm, to describe it. If not, the checking ought to have been done before you get to the tarmac. Whatever you need to go with you to the aircraft would have been with you, and what you don't need, you don't have even gotten there. So it's still because, I mean, it's a society where we have created a system where, you know, I said somewhere, and I'm saying it again, that we have made our laws like the spider web. You know what a spider web is? The spider web is, you know, properly knitted network, but it only catches small insects. The bigger animals trample on it and get away. But that spider web catches the mosquitoes, catches smaller insects, but the big ones, there is no big animal that is threatened by the spider web. So it's the same thing. Our laws have been made to catch up with some people, while some people can get away with it. Like the woman, you saw the video today, you see, we could be saying, I will show you. Because a precedent has been set, and if we don't nip it in the bud, as it were, it's already beyond the bud anyway, but let me just use that. If we don't nip it now, we may have more dangerous incidents. And most importantly, the global aviation industry is watching. How are they going to rate the Nigeria aviation industry? They may probably come out in a few months when the next rating is done and rate the Nigeria aviation industry as not being safe for flight, in spite of all the hard work that has been done. Why would they say it is not safe? Maybe because of the unruly behavior of passengers. And I also think that with this incident with the man, I think it's high time also, people should be advised, passengers should be that if you have any grievance, there is a place you can go and air you don't, inside the airplane is not where you express your grievance. If you have grievance, there should be known quotas that are known to every passenger and accessible to every passenger, that as a time you are disembarking, you know where to go to and give the complaint. For crying out loud, if the issue was putting off for phone, everybody knows that by the time you board, there are certain times it's announced before takeoff that please all phones should go off. Are they flying for the first time?
Surprising. Thank you so much for your insight on that report. And this